Nigeria, on this very fateful Thursday, the 22nd in the month of March 2018 proceeding. Yes, today it's actually a load pack full of presentations and considerations of a bill. Of course, today we will say it's a new dawn. There shall be presentations of bill today, there shall be presentations of reports, and not leaving considerations and presentations of reports, and consideration of a bill. Thereafter, there shall be consideration of reports. But first on our list, like as I used to say, it is actually not what it entails here, but it is the content that matters a lot. And that's why today the legislators, I say vibrant legislators, will be sitting together in a purposeful discourse to think and bring possible ways that will bring about national development. And the first sponsor of the first presentation of a bill today is, yes, the Senate leader. I'm talking of Senator Ahmed Lawan from Yobe North. He titled his own Electoral Act 2010 Amendment Bill 2018, SB 645. It shall be going through a first reading. And the second is going to be sponsored by Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi from Niger North, with the title Animal Disease Control Act, CAP A17, NFN 2004, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2018, SB 643, and it shall be going through first reading too. And the second is going to be sponsored by Senator Musirat Sumonu from Oyo Central, with the title Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act, Amendment Bill 2018, SB 644, first reading. And there shall be presentations of course, different reports, while the first on our list today will be sponsored by the Deputy Senate President. I'm talking of Senator Ike Kurumadu from Enugu West, with the title Conference Committee Report, Constitution Alteration Bills 2018. While the second will actually be sponsored by Senator Samuel Anyao from Imo East, on the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. And the first petition is a petition from Carlos Samuel and 348 others against Michael Opara, Federal University of Agriculture, Medike, Abia State, for unlawful suspension from office. And yes, he shall be going through 4 petitions there, but I just read through the very first one for you. While under the presentation and considerations of our report, Senator Rafiu Adebayo from Kwara South will actually be championing that on the title, Report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions. It's actually about confirmation of the nomination of the following persons for appointment as members of Monetary Policy Committee of Central Bank of Nigeria. This is actually the iceberg. I wouldn't be giving you the detail. The detail will be during the proper plenary. While the consideration of a bill is going to just a bill will be considered today, being sponsored by Senator Sabo Mohammed from Jigawa Southwest. Titled a bill for an act to amend the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act Cap 17 NFN 2004 and for other related matters 2018 SB 638 is going through second reading. And not leaving, lastly, the considerations of reports. There shall be 2 reports to be considered today. While the first is going to be sponsored by Senator Barnabas Gamade from Benue Northeast on report of the Committee on Housing, Real Estate Regulation and Development Bill 2018, SB 216. And the last, yes, but not by the least, is going to be sponsored by Senator Obali Shitu from Jigawa Northeast on the report of the Committee on Water Resources, River Basin Development Act Cap, R9 LFN 2004 Amendment Bill 2018 SB 358. Well, that's actually the iceberg of what we shall be. Yes, actually, the considering today and be expecting. But like as I used to say, that you have a role to play as a good Nigerian. All you need to do is to encourage other leaders and put in your best so that we can have a better Nigeria. As the senators today from different constituencies and different states will be deliberating on how possible they could make Nigerians comfortable and see how we can progress in every space of the sector and the no ramification of consideration. This morning,
votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 21st March, be approved. I so move.
Senator Fatima Raji Razaki, Ekiti Central, former First Lady.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Fatima Raji Razaki from Ekiti Central. I rise to second the motion that the vote and proceedings of Wednesday, 21st of March, 2018 be approved. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 21st March 2018 be approved, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 21st March 2018 is hereby approved. Announcements. The Senate Committee on Appropriation will receive reports on the 2018 budget from the subcommittees as scheduled as below. Thursday, 22nd March, time 12 noon to 6 p.m. Friday, 23rd March, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. And Monday, 26th March, 12 noon to 6 p.m. Venue is meeting room 224, Senate Building. Please endeavor to conclude your reports and submit same within the scheduled dates and time. Signed, Vice Chairman, Senator Sonny Ubuju. This is an announcement from Senator Mao Wabona. The flight information for those that will be attending the burial of Senator Mao Wabona's mothers are Abuja to Owerri on the 5th of April 2018, Air Peace, 10 in the morning, 12 p.m. and 2:50, and then Arik at 7 a.m. Abuja to Port Harcourt also on the 5th, Abuja to Owerri on the 6th of April, Abuja to Uyo on the 5th and 6th of April. Those attending should please contact the following for airport reception at the preferred location. Owerri Airport, Senator T.A.O.G. and Senator Sam Ayawu, Uche Okoli, and then Uyo Airport, Senator Goswill Akpabio, Senator Basi Albert Akpan, and then Port Harcourt Airport, Senator Magnus Abe and Right Honorable Austin Opara. Signed, Senator Sam Ayawu. Please, all concerned should please get in touch with Sam Ayawu for more details on flight times and telephone numbers or who to get in touch with. Sunday, the 18th of March, was the birthday of distinguished Senator Gershom Basi. We wish him many happy returns, long life, and God's protection. I wish to acknowledge the presence of staff and students of Gliston International Academy, Abuja, staff and students of RO2 Academy, Asokoro, Abuja, staff and students of J. Maris Academy, Kubwa, Abuja, staff and students of City Stars Academy, Ado, Nasarawa State, staff and students of Glow Jam International School, Maraba, Nasarawa, staff and students of Intensive Education Academy, Sabon Wuse, Niger State. All who are in our gallery to observe our Senate proceedings, I wish you all a fruitful observations of our proceedings. You may now sit down. Petitions? Leader of the Senate. Yes, point of order, Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, this morning, by your permission, I want to come under Order 43, personal explanation, to make a case for the issue. And with the permission, I will read, Mr. President. By the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President of the Senate, the Senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when his leave to make it is sought. Mr. President, this morning I spoke with you on the need for me to come under this order to make a personal explanation on the recovery or return or release of the abducted Dapchi girls. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Senate for giving us all the support that we required when Senator Bukaraba Ibrahim, who represents Dapchi here, brought his motion to formally inform the Senate and seek the support of the Senate to pray for us in Yobe State to support the federal government in the recovery effort of those girls that were abducted then, 110 of them. Mr. President, I want to take this opportunity to formally not only thank you and the Senate for the support, but also to commend the federal government and the Yobe State government for remaining focused. The President Muhammad Buhari, visited our state about a week after the abduction, and he promised that the federal government will leave no stone unturned in the effort to bring back our Dapchi girls. The governor of Yobe State, Alhaji Ibrahim Gaidam, remained committed and focused to support the federal government, and all our people in the state were prayerful. I want to thank Nigerians for showing patriotism and giving us the kind of support that we required by comforting us. Mr. President, after commending everyone, we still have one more student of Dapchi that has not been returned home. We still have about 112 of Chibok girls that have not been returned. I want to take this opportunity to urge the federal government to expedite action and leave no stone unturned in an effort to recover the remaining girl from Dapchi and 112 from Chibok. Thank you very much, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues.
Thank you, Senate Leader. You came under Order 43, which there cannot be any debate. I think you have said it all. We here commend and thank all our colleagues for all the efforts this chamber did in this effort and standing with the people of Yobe State. Commend the government, the President, and the security agencies in the efforts that they've done in rescuing the girls, and also the fact that, as you rightly said, there's still one more girl from Dapchi, particularly that all the agencies must do their best to see that immediately this girl is brought back, and also the 112 left from Chibok girls, and all those Nigerians all over for their patients, the parents, the families that went through these difficult times. And it shows that we can continue to do more as a country. We all work together, and we pray that we do not see this kind of incident again. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues. The first business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi on the Animal Disease Control Bill 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Animal Disease Control Act, Cap A17, LFN 2004, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2018, SB 643, first reading.
Animal Disease Control Act, Cap A17, LFN 2004, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2018, SB 643, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of Senator Mansurat Sumonu on the Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act Amendment Bill 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act Amendment Bill 2018, SB 644, first reading.
Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act Amendment Bill 2018, SB 644, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third business of the day is the presentation of the Conference Committee report on the Constitution Alteration Bills 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Ike Ukwaramadu, the Deputy President of the Senate, Chairman of the Committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Deputy Senate President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues, I respectfully move that this Senate do receive the report of the Conference Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution on the Constitution of the Alteration Bill 2018. I so move.
Senator Philip Aduda.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Conference Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution on the Constitution Alteration Bill 2008. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the Conference Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution on the Constitutional Alteration Bill 2018. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Deputy President, can lead report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fourth business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition in respect of a petition from Kalu Samuel and 348 others against Michael Okpara, Federal University of Agriculture, Umudike, Abia State, for a lawful suspension from office. B. Petition from Mrs. Mariam Danna Mohammed against Niger Delta Power Holding Company for wrongful termination of her appointment. C. Complaint from late Senator Malam Aluwakili against Mr. Fred Itwa of the Sun newspaper for allegedly misleading the public against the Senate in the Sunday Sun newspaper publication of 22nd of October 2017. And D. Petition from I.J. Obiachu Esquire on behalf of the people of Rete village of Amaforo Autonomous Community Ibeku, Umahia local government area, Abia State, against Oko Research Institute of Nigeria, Ibadan, Oyo State, for alleged non-compensation for land acquired. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Samuel Anyao, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the reports.
Senator Samayao, Moist.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Samayao. I represent Imo East Imo State. With the leave of Mr. President and the Senate, I move that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions in respect of A, petition from Carlos Samuel and 348 others against Michael Okoro, Federal University of Agriculture, Umudike, Abia State, for unlawful suspension from office. B, petition from Mrs. Mariam Dana Mohammed against the Niger Delta Power Holding Company for wrongful termination of appointment. C, complaint from late Senator Malam A. Wakili against Mr. Fred Utua of the Sunday Newspaper for allegedly misleading the public against the Senate in the Sunday Sun Newspaper publication of 22nd October 2017. And D, petition from I.J. Obiachu, Esquire, on behalf of the people of Erute, village of Amofuro Autonomous Community, Ibeku, Umaya North, local government area, Abia State, against Local Research Institute of Nigeria, Ibadan, Oyo State, for alleged non-compensation for land acquired. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Umar Kurfi, Kitsina Central.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. My name remain Umar Ibrahim Kurfi, a senator from Kaduna Central. I rise to support the motion move by Anyawu that this petition be received. I so move.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that we receive the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition in respect of the 4 different petitions and complaints, those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Samay, come and lay your reports. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the 5th business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the alleged resumption of the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator David Umaru, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator David Umaru.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is David Umaru. I represent Niger East Senatorial District. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move the motion that this distinguished Senate will receive the report on the alleged resumption of Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission in office without confirmation of the Senate. I so move.
Senator Ben Murray Bruce.
What? Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Ben Murray Bruce, Bielsa East, I rise to second the motion that the report be submitted.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that we do receive the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the alleged resumption of the Executive Secretary of National Human Rights Commission to office without confirmation of the Senate. Those in favor will receive the report say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator David Moro, come and lay the report, please. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions on the screening of the following nominees for appointments as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. 1. Professor Adiola Festus Adene Kinju. 2. Dr. Aliyu Rafinda E. Sanusi. 3. Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa. And 4. Dr. Sheikh A. Maidugu. distinguished senators will recall that the request of Mr. President C&C was referred to the committee on Wednesday, the 14th of March 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Rafiu Adebayo, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Rafiu Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. I'm Rafiu Adebayo Ibrahim. I represent Kwara South. I rise to move that the Senate will receive and consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions for the confirmation of the nomination of the following persons for appointment as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. 1. Professor Abiola Festus Adenuki. 2. Dr. Aliyu Rafindadi Sanusi. 3. Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa. 4. Dr. Ashek A. Maidugu. I so much.
Senator Abaribe.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Eina Abaribe, representing Abia South. I second the motion ably moved by my good friend, Senator Rafiu, that we do consider the report on the screening for confirmation of the members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the confirmation of the nomination of the following persons for appointment as members of the Monetary Policy Committee MPC of the Central Bank: Professor Adiola Festus Adenukinju, Dr. Aliyu Rafindadi Sanusi, Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwe, and Dr. Ashek A. Maidugu. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Rafiu Ibrahim, first come and lay the report. And go ahead and present the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. I rise to present the report on the screening and confirmation of nomination of Professor Adiola Festus Adenuki, Dr. Aliyu Rafindadi Sanusi, Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa, and Dr. Ashek A. Maidugu as member of MPC of the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you recall that the Senate at this evening on Wednesday, 14th March 2018, considered the request of the Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, for confirmation of his nominee as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, pursuant to Section 12 of the CBN Act 2007. Accordingly, the Senate will refer the resolution to the committee. There I will go to observations straight because the report is very straightforward. We did meet and screen the 4 members presented to the committee that day by the Special Advisor to the President of the National Assembly for the Senate specifically. Before I go to the observations, the only thing I will read on findings of one of the nominees, Dr. Ashek Alaji Maidugu, just the last point on the findings of that before I go to the observations and our prayer. The nominee was interviewed by the committee like others, and he responded to the questions asked by members, but the committee was dissatisfied with his response to the independence required for each member of the MPC and concerned that a regular civil servant laden with bureaucracy and red tapeism may not be independent in his judgment on each crucial decision of the MPC that affects directly the whole economy. Then I go to observation. At the end of the screening exercise, the committee observed as follows: that 3 out of the 4 nominees, namely Professor Adiola Festus Adeniki, Dr. Aliu Rapindadi Sanusi, and Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa, are very resourceful, diligent, articulate, competent, and will add the needed value in the operation of the MPC. That the 3 nominees mentioned has vast knowledge that will facilitate the attainment of the objective of the price stability and the formulation of monetary and credit policies of the central bank. That the nominees mentioned have adequate knowledge of the operations of the CBN Act 2007 and Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 1990. That the nominee has been cleared by the Code of Conduct Bureau and the relevant security agency, namely the Nigerian Police and the Department of State Services. The members of the committee have been satisfied, that's our recommendation, with the academic and professional qualification, competence, work experience, suitability, and character of the aforementioned 3 nominees. Hereby recommend that 1, that the Senate do confirm the nomination of the following nominee of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, as member of the Monetary Policy Committee. They are Professor Adiola Festus Adeniki, Dr. Aliu Rapindadi Sanusi, Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa. Then recommendation 2, that the Senate do reject the nomination of Dr. Sheikh Alhaji Maidugu as a member of the FPC. I so submit, Mr. President.
Comments, if not, to resolve committee of the whole? Okay. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate resolves into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second that the Senate do resolve into the committee of the whole to consider this report. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, any comments? If not, I'll put the question. Go ahead and I'll put the question. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Professor Adiola Festus Adeniki as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Aliu Rapindadi Sanusi as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Robert Chikwendu Asogwa as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Sheikh Maidugu as okay, this one is being recommended for rejection. Okay. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Sheikh Maidugu as member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. Nays have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse plenary for purpose.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to second that we reverse the plenary to report progress.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleague, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as members of the Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and approved the nominations of Professor Adiola Festus Adenikiju, Dr. Aliu Rafindadi Sanusi, and Dr. Robert Chikwendu Osagwe as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The nomination of Dr. Sheikh Alhaji Meidugu was rejected. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Confirmation. I'll put the question. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Professor Adiola Festus Adenikiju as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Professor Adiola Festus Adenikiju is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Aliu Rafindadi Sanusi as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Aliu Rafindadi Sanusi is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Robert Chikwendu Osagwe as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Robert Chikwendu Osagwe is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished colleagues, let me thank the committee members of the banking and also my distinguished colleagues on this exercise as brought to the confirmation of the members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank. We hope with this the Central Bank will continue to play its role in providing stability and health for our economy, and we wish the members a fruitful and successful tenure as members of the MPC. Yes, Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, let me congratulate the Senate for passing the MPC members. So in the light of the reality now that we have dropped one person, the MPC will have 6 members. Hey, Mr. President, I would advise the Senate that we should expedite action to consider the governing board where we expect 2 more members of the MPC to emerge from. This will make complete the MPC as an institution in the CBN. I will also take this opportunity to advise the executive to present another nominee in place of Dr. Meidugu, who has been rejected. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Leader, your point is noted. I think the executive should, because of the urgency of the matter, quickly expedite action and bring a replacement for the MPC member that we've rejected. And the issue of the board, I think, as you rightly observed, is something that, again, maybe when we do have a fuller participation, we can all discuss that on the value point you've made as far as ensuring that we did not, we make sure that the MPC is fully constituted. But the point leader has made is well noted. And I think it's a matter we'll discuss when we are coming next week and see and look at it in the interest of making sure that the MPC is fully constituted. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the screening of Mrs. Aisha Ahmad and Mr. Edward Lemtek Adamu for appointment as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished senators will recall that the request of Mr. President, CNC was referred to the committee on Wednesday, the 14th of March 2018. Mr. President, may wish to invite Senator Rafiu Ibrahim Adebayo, chairman of the committee, to once again move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Rafiu Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues. My name is Rafiu Adebayo Ibrahim. I represent Kwara South. I write that to move that the Senate to receive and consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions on the confirmation of the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmad and Mr. Edward Mametek Adamu for appointment as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. I so move.
Senator Peter Nwaboshi.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Peter Nwaboshi, Delta North. I write to second the motion, every move by my colleague, Senator Rafiu. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions on the confirmation of the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed and Mr. Edward Lamtek Adamu for appointment as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Rafiu Ibrahim, come and lay the report, please. You can now present the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Once again, I write to present the report of the committee on the screening for confirmation of the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmad and Mr. Edward Lametek Adamu as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Mr. President, Senator, you will recall that the Senate has been decision on Wednesday, 14th March 2018, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief for confirmation of the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmad and Mr. Edward Lametek as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank. Accordingly, the resolution was referred to the committee and we concluded the committee work by the screening of all our findings and in the report. Then I will just go to observation and recommendation accordingly. At the end of the screening exercise, the committee observed as follows: that Mr. Adamu is a result-oriented personality and astute banker, a woman resource and strategic management expert, with proven and reliable record of achievement in the Nigerian financial system. That the nominee is innovative, people-oriented, personable, visionary, creative, with the courage to engage, inspire, and influence people into collaborative action for better. That he is an excellent communicator, negotiator with insight and ability to provide transformative solutions to complex problems. That he is exposed to world-class education with cutting-edge scholarly engagement and multicultural skills with core competence to drive business. That the nominee has the desired attribute and quality of a team leader, having led the successful transformation of the human resource, the responsibility of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the corporate strategy executive framework of the bank, develop a new monetary policy communication framework, reform the corporate communication department of the bank. has vast knowledge of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act and the bank. The bank and other financial institutions have mentioned as appointed and education of the banking industry. That this appointment will be in compliance with Section 14(3) of the Constitution. This appointment will be in compliance with Section 14(3) of the Constitution of the National Assembly should require that the selection of the federal character in appointment into public offices having come from the northeast geopolitical zone of the country, that they have been cleared by the Code of Conduct, Bureau, and other relevant security agencies, the Nigerian Police and the Department of State Services. I think I missed the observation on Aisha Ahmad. I thought it was combined together. The committee find out that Mrs. Aisha Ahmad has been nominated as a BSc Economics degree in Accounting from the University of Abuja, second class of qualification in 1996, successfully completed the service. That the nominee has vast experience in the banking industry, is banking officer for Central State Bank, has upgrade up to the position of executive director in Diamond Bank by July 2017. That the nominee is very resourceful, diligent, articulate, competent, and has extensive planning and organization ability. That Mrs. Aisha is a seasoned banker and investment advisor in the financial sector with over 20 years experience in retail banking, wealth management, consultancy, and financial knowledge. That she's experienced with applying the analytical skill and comprehensive investment knowledge mostly needed in today's fast-evolving workplace. That Mrs. Aisha is very creative and versatile expert, very strong academic and professional branding in finance, broad banking and capital market practice experience. That the nominee has the capacity and the enablement of enhancing the value of institutions by driving exceptional business performance and leveraging a multi-ethnic background for cross-sectorial industry network, predisposition for analytical problem solving, ability to inspire diverse teams to aspire and even exceed expectations. That she has adequate knowledge of the operation of CBN Act and the Bank and Other Financial Institution Act. That she's conversant with the dynamics of ongoing financial systems strategy that FSS 2020 and globalization. That our appointment will fall in line with Section 44 of the 1999 Constitution Amendment, which requires the reflection of federal character in appointment into public office, having come from the North Central geopolitical zone of the country. That the nominee has been cleared by the Code of Conduct, Bureau, and the relevant security agencies, that is the Judiciary and the ESS. The committee hereby, having been satisfied with the academic and professional qualification, competence, and work experience and character of the committee hereby recommend that the Senate do confirm the appointment of Ms. Aisha Ahmad and Mr. Edward Lamited Adamu as Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. I so submit.
Does anybody have any comments? Yes, and to Jibrin, Brother Jibrin.
Brother Jibrin cannot. Mr. President, I just want to say that the findings of the committee has shown that each of these nominees has an astounding pedigree, fully qualified for the job, and in fact all tests necessary to occupy the position they are nominated for. That's why I therefore think that it's only proper that the Senate approve their nomination. I so submit, Mr. President.
Senator Ledani.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Joshua Ledani, representing from the South. I was privileged to attend the screening of the two nominees, and in the course of my stay in the Senate, I've never had a situation where the nominee acquitted himself so creditably. Yes, acquitted themselves so creditably, especially Mr. Edward Lamitek Adamu. And he received so much accolades, not only from the committee members, but even from the CBN itself, because a lot of people came and a lot of people were sending text messages testifying to the fact that for the first time in the history of the CBN, an insider has risen to become a deputy governor in that state. So the two of them received high accolades, Mr. President, and I urge my colleagues to allow them to take a bow, even though they have taken that during the screening. Let these two nominees be passed by this honorable Senate. Thank you very much.
Well, Senator Daniel, since I've listened to you, I really have no alternative. I must listen to Senator Aliyu Abdullahi Sabi. I was going to not allow him to speak now, but after yours, I must take his. Senator Aliyu Sabi, tell me about your own nominee to how well she performed.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. What we have here is a young Nigerian, and of course, providing the gender narrative, because we are very sensitive to gender in this chapter. And I know even Mrs. Jagaba, most distinguished Senator Oluremi, will testify to the fact that this house is gender sensitive. So the nominee, Mrs. Aisha Ahmed, is young, dynamic, intelligent, and definitely the committee members were very much pleased with the answers to questions they put before her. So I think what we have here is a full package, Mr. President. And I think it's just proper, like the other speakers have said, that they take a bow even though we know they are not here physically.
Thank you very much. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate resolves into the Committee of the Whole to consider the report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, before I second that we resolve into the Committee of the Whole, let me, on behalf of those of us from this side of the aisle, concur with the appeal that we should expedite the report of the CBN because of the critical role it plays. I want to agree entirely with that appeal. And on this note, may I second that we resolve into a Committee of the Whole to consider this report. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, I'll put the question then. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mr. Edward Lamitek Adamu as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse to plenary for the charge report progress.
Mr. Chairman, may I second that we revert to plenary to report progress.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that revert to plenary report progress, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the screening of Mr. President's nominees for appointment as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria and approve the nominations of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed and Mr. Edward Lamitek Adamu as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? I'll put the question for confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed as Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed is hereby confirmed as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mr. Edward Lamtek Adamu as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mr. Edward Lamtek Adamu is hereby confirmed as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished colleagues, let me again thank the Committee on Banking and also all our colleagues for this expeditious action which we promised the country last week that we will take action to see that within a week we will carry out this confirmation. I thank you for your cooperation. I thank you for continuing your extension of cooperation with the executive. At this point, let me congratulate the two nominees. Let me congratulate particularly Mr. Edward Lamtek, because I think his upliftment to a deputy governor is a great encouragement to the staff, and to see somebody from inside get to that level. I think it will boost the morale of a lot of, and I want to commend the management and Mr. President and those who were part of the initiative of ensuring that an insider gets to this position. It will go a long way in boosting the morale. Let me also commend Ahmed also is not in this world presently being very competitive to see somebody to achieve that level of being deputy governor. We congratulate them. The two of them are coming at a time where the economy is a major issue. We've just come out of recession, and to continue to provide economic growth and see to stability of the foreign exchange, macroeconomic stability are great challenges. We hope the two of them will really work with the governor and continue to move the economy in the right direction. And we hope also that they'll continue to work closely with the National Assembly to continue to update us on progress being done by the Central Bank. I congratulate them once more. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third order of the day is second reading of the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act, CAP 117 LFN 2004, Amendment Bill 2018. Distinguished senators will recall that the bill was read the first time in this chamber on Tuesday, the 13th of March 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Sabo Mohammed to move the motion for the bill to be read a second time.
Senator Sabo Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I remain Senator Sabo Mohammed, representing Jigawa Southwest. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead the debate on this important bill, the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act, CAP 17 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for other related matters. This bill was read the first time on the 13th March 2008 in this chamber. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the importance of this bill to the economic and industrial development of Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, I strongly urge you all to support the passage of this bill. The bill has 6 clauses, namely 1, 2, 3, 6, 25, and 26 to be amended. It is non-controversial, and more so, it has no financial implications whatsoever. It has to do with the Pioneer Status Incentive, PSI, which is a form of tax holiday granted to companies by exempting their profits from corporate income tax for 3 years and 2 more years extension, and is being administered by the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council. Mr. President, the objective of the Pioneer Incentive is that it attracts investors to the nation's economy The aim is to encourage and attract investment into crucial sectors of the economy, which will significantly impact development and deliver key benefits to the country, including economic growth and diversification, industrial sector development, employment, skill and technology transfer, export development, and import substitution. Mr. President, further justification for the amendment. In 2015, the federal government suspended the grant of the pioneer status in order to carry out a comprehensive review of the incentive due to perceived abuses, inefficiencies, and revenue leakages. The result of this review is a reformed pioneer status incentive framework with wider coverage but more stringent conditions. One of the conditions for eligibility is the investment in non-current assets, which has been increased from 10 to 100 million naira. It must be pointed out that this administrative decision by the Nigeria Investment Promotion Council is not covered by the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act. After the suspension was lifted, the NIPC frowned at the straight 5-year period grant and the grant of pioneer status incentives to existing pioneer companies for additional investment. But the Act does not frown at granting pioneer status for additional investment, even though this was not expressly stated in the law. This forms the background for the need to amend the law to accommodate, most especially, the granting of pioneer status for additional investment by pioneer companies, as against setting up new companies. The benefit of the pioneer status for additional investment by pioneer companies are many. The few I can mention here: the additional investment by a pioneer company will achieve the same key objectives of economic growth and diversification, industrial and sectoral development, employment, skills and technology transfer, and export development and import substitution. Number two, no additional cost would be required to incorporate new company and setting up additional investment elsewhere. The focus of the pioneer status investment is on product and industry. And as long as the additional investment is for the pioneer product within the industry, it will be insufficient to set up a new one for the same purpose that will have been achieved under the existing one. What this means is that if you are not granting pioneer status to a company that has made additional investment, you are like punishing him for doing a good job. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council Regulation Act on Pioneer Status is in conflict with the Act. For example, Pioneer Status Incentive Regulations 2014, Part 2, Section 3, 1 and B requires that a company applying for Pioneer Status must have incurred capital expenditure of not less than 10 million naira. This is inconsistent with Section 14A of the Act, which prescribes capital expenditure of not less than 50,000 naira. In view of the above development, the law needs to be amended to accommodate pioneer companies who are interested in increasing their investment in the pioneer product and industry without the increasing cost of incorporating new companies. The amendment will effectively require that additional investment by pioneer company which meets the eligibility requirement will be treated as a new application with the opportunity of having the pioneer status for 3 years and then 2 more years extension if the company meets the requirement. Given that the process was suspended in 2015, the amendment should cover all applications submitted prior to 2015 to date. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in view of the foregoing, I once again urge you to support the passage of this important bill. Thank you very much.
Senator Boniface.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Robert Boniface, representing Ondo North Senatorial District. I rise to support the chairman of this committee that this bill be read the second time. This amendment has highlighted the contradictions between the MPIC report and the existing act. I see the intention of this amendment to ensure that the very important issues that grow the economy and also encourage indigenous investment in industrial activity is encouraged. Having said that, Mr. President, I want to plead with my colleagues that the second reading of this bill, the amendment bill, be supported. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished, if there is no objection, let me put the question. Those in favor that this bill be read the second time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act, Cap 17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and for other related matters, 2018, second reading.
A bill for an act to amend Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act, Cap 17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, and for other related matters, 2018, second reading taken. This bill is referred to Committee on Trade and Investment and report back within 4 weeks. Chairman, Committee on Trade and Investment. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, because of the exigencies of our time now, I want to move that we stand down the consideration of all other items on the order paper till another legislative day. I so move.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second that we stand down the remaining consideration of reports for another legislative day. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that will stand other items on the other paper to another legislative day, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that we adjourn for 10 minutes to enable the Secretariat produce the votes and proceedings, and then we resume thereafter to pass the votes and proceedings to enable the CBN nominees or confirmed nominees be considered for their appointments and other necessary actions by the executive.
Mr. President, I rise to second the motion as moved by the leader.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion, we adjourn for 10 minutes. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Please, distinguished senators, you might use the tea room, but please don't go out because we need to pass this today, as you are all aware of. God bless every one of you. Please, we will be back in this chamber in 10 minutes. We will be back in this chamber in 10 minutes. Distinguished senators, you are expected back in this chamber in 10 minutes.